Let's drink Michigan beer from coast to coast, from far and near. It's local and delicious, any styles that you wishes. So raise your glass and toast your friend. Let's drink a Michigan beer. 1, 2, 3. Let's drink a Michigan beer from coast to coast, from far and near. It's local and delicious, any styles that you wishes. So raise your glass and toast your friend. Let's drink Michigan beer. I say, let's drink Michigan beer. Bring it home or drink it here. From the UP to the Mitten, there's no telling what you're getting. From Motown to the Sioux, find a beer that pleases you. Let's drink Michigan beer, coast to coast, from far and near. It's local and delicious, any styles that you wishes. So raise your glass and toast your friend. Let's drink Michigan beer. Get tipsy down in Ipsy. Let's drink Michigan beer.
They deserve a round of applause. That was amazing. The Dixie Ale House Choir singing the Michigan Beer Fight song. So much fun. I love it. I'm Amy Sherman from M Live and Michigan's Fest, and I am so excited to welcome you to our great Michigan Beer Toast. We're doing it virtually this year since all the festivals got canceled, but we are so excited to be here, and we have an awesome hour planned for you celebrating all things Michigan beer. So we have some things to look forward to over the next hour. We're going to be doing fun stuff like a blind IPA tasting. We're going to tour a hop farm and learn about how hops are grown here in Michigan. We're going to learn more about the Brewers Guild, and we're going to do a big beer pairing. Plus, we're going to play a fun game of beer trivia to see if we can stump the brewer, and we'll do a big statewide toast at the end, so you want to stay tuned for that. It should be a pretty great time. We encourage you to crack open your favorite Michigan beer and join us in a salute to all these great breweries. And let us know what you're imbibing in the comments. Or tell us your favorite Michigan breweries and what makes them so special in the comments. We'll be sure to be shouting those out and sharing with everyone who's joining us. And speaking of joining us, I'm very excited to say that Scott Graham, the Executive Director of the Michigan Brewers Guild, is here with us to kick off the show. Scott, welcome.
Hi, Amy. Great to see you.
It's so good to see you. I feel like, the beer community hasn't been able to get together this year, and usually we see each other 4 to 5 times a year, and we haven't gotten to do that this year. So it's so nice to see you virtually if this is the way we have to do it.
Yeah, I guess it's better than nothing, but it's been a big disappointment for a whole lot of people to not get together and have a beer, especially to be sweaty and drink a couple of beers in Ypsilanti and maybe get rained on.
That's for sure. Well, that's kind of why we picked this time to do this virtual toast, is because the Summer Beer Fest would typically happen this weekend. And man, Scott, you nailed it on the head. It seems like every year it's some crazy weather system comes through. I've seen heat waves. I've seen probably a tornado. You remember that year.
Yes, I definitely do. Crazy.
Well, it's been so exciting to watch the brewing community grow in Michigan. There's over 400 breweries now across the state. They provide over 21,000 jobs, and the amount of money that they contribute to Michigan's economy is pretty astronomical. What has it been like to be at the head of the guild during all this transformation?
Well, I think it's been a lot like it has been for all the breweries. With everybody building their own business, I think it's a lot of hard work and lots of challenges, and you're kind of learning and building as you go along, and you don't have all the resources that you really wish you had for everything you're trying to manage. So I think that's been going on with breweries and to a similar extent with the Brewers Guild, but it's really been great to see the industry grow from less than 100 breweries to over 300 and now getting over 400, and we got lots of great beer, lots of great folks. That's probably my favorite part of everything, is the people that I've gotten to meet over the years, including yourself.
Yay! I agree. The brewing community is such a tightly knit group of people, and they're so supportive of each other. And I feel like during these troubled times, we've really seen the best come out of the beer community, whether it's supporting each other or getting support from the community or giving back to the community. Have you been kind of witnessing that too?
Yeah, I think so. Of course, I don't know all the stories, but breweries are really part of their local communities, and they're attached to the local community. They're a gathering place. There are lots of different parties and events there, and they find ways to support the community. Aside from, in many cases, rehabilitating old buildings or being on the main street of a downtown that was not thriving. So that's really part of the fun, and then the creativity that so many have. All the breweries are unique and make fun and interesting beers. So yeah, the whole community and the people who are drawn to it are great to be around. So yes, I'm pretty enthusiastic about all of that.
I love it. So since we were talking about Summer Beer Fest, Scott, do you have a favorite memory from Summer Beer Fest, so we can kind of relive it virtually through you?
Well, I guess I don't have a particular memory that stands out, although I have a few thoughts, but they're maybe a little unusual. But like you said, it's quite often pretty hot and steamy. There's always a little bit of rain somewhere. But again, I think all that's part of the fun of it, and it just makes me think of good times in the summertime and lots of friends getting together and having a great time.
That's for sure, and I think that's the part that we'll miss the most. How can people support the Michigan Brewers Guild even now when we're not doing the festivals to support your mission and support breweries across the state?
Well, really, I think the best way to do that is to think about your local breweries and what it means to them to have your dollars spent there, if it makes sense for you. It's been a really, really tough time, and even getting going again and working at reduced capacity. It's stressful in so many ways. There's the financial end of things, but it's kind of fatiguing just to have so many unknowns and be unsure about so many things. So I think lots of folks are really working hard, not that they don't normally, but I would encourage everybody to think about where they're spending their dollars, and if it makes sense to go out and get a growler or some takeout or dine in if they have that available, and let them know that you're thinking about them and doing your best to support them.
That's right. Drink local. We can support that any day. If you want to get more information about the Michigan Brewers Guild, you want to go to mibeer.com. You can learn all about what they have going on, including a brand new podcast that they started. Scott Graham, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have you back on later for our statewide toast, so we'll see you in a little bit.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Amy.
So not only does beer taste phenomenal, but it can also do some really great things in the community. The liquid in your glass, sip by sip, can make changes in your community. And our next guest knows a lot about that. Stephen Rogenson from Batch Brewing in Detroit not only founded the Feel Good Tap program, but he's also been participating in the Black is Beautiful beer collaboration that a lot of brewers across the whole country are doing right now, including 25 breweries in Michigan. Now, I think Stephen is going to join us here in a second. We are working on getting him online. But one of the things that I love about what he's done through Batch Brewing is the Feel Good Tap program. And this is something that he started a few years ago when Batch started. And it's a way for breweries to give back. Every month, they get to pick a different beer that they have on tap, and then they donate $1 from every beer to the charity of their choice. So it can be something local for a brewery over in Grand Rapids, or maybe something for a place up in the UP, or it could be something from Batch that's right there in Detroit. And it provides money back to the community in a fun way. And I love that so many different breweries have participated in the Feel Good Tap. You can usually see it on menus across the state where it's labeled, this is the Feel Good Tap of the month. And it changes every month. So I encourage you to look for those. Now, Stephen still hasn't joined us, so I guess I'll talk about Black is Beautiful as well, which is a really great program that was started just a few weeks ago by another brewery, Weathered Souls, and they decided to create a recipe for a dark style ale, share the recipe with breweries across the country, and then encourage them to brew it at their own place, put their own special twist on it, and then to donate 100% of the proceeds to help people of color with the difficulties that they face daily, to raise money for police brutality prevention, and to provide legal defenses for those who are in trouble. So it's kind of a great way to give back, and it's interesting to see all the different versions of Black is Beautiful that have popped up across Michigan. If you want to see the complete listing of Black is Beautiful beers that are available here in Michigan, you want to go to blackisbeautiful.beer, and you can see the whole listing for Michigan right there. It's a great program and a different way maybe to give back to the community. I want to say hi to some of the people that are joining us online right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you from Birmingham. You guys are drinking some all-day IPA, a great choice. We've got Upper Hand Brewery represented by David, who's drinking a Deer Camp. That's a nice one, and one you can't get below the bridge yet, but you will be able to very soon. We've got some stories about that up on mlife.com by John Gonzalez. And speaking of, Gonzo is with us in the comments, so if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. He's in there, and he's a beer expert as well. Hey, Jay Clancy from Cognition Brewing in the UP, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And thanks to some of the Brewers Guild staff who just tuned in, like Sherry Kepsel. I appreciate you tuning in. That's awesome. So keep sharing those favorite breweries, the beers that you're trying tonight. I know that I'm tasting something I picked up yesterday, Beer de Mac, which is in Mackinac City. And our good friends, George and Danny, are making some great beers. And this is their Grisette. And it's such a fresh, beautiful summer beer. It's super tasty. So let me know what you guys are trying, and we'll share it with everyone. All right. Coming up next, we're going to hear some shout outs from some politicians who also love Michigan beer.
After spending a day trying to stay 6 feet away from everybody else, it's great to come home and rip off the mask and put your feet up and crack open a great Michigan beer. The good news is it tastes great even when you're socially distanced. So, to all our Michigan brewers, thanks for helping us get through this.
I know it's been a difficult few months, and I'm praying for a rapid and bright recovery for all businesses. I know you're all in this together and helping each other out to get through this crisis. And I'm encouraging my friends and family to help, one pint at a time. With more than 400 breweries across the state, I want the craft beer industry to know how much I respect and appreciate what you do for our state. Your investment is incredible. Your investment in our communities, the investment in people and the jobs you provide, your investment in Michigan agriculture, and your investment in great products are just a few of the reasons why I value what you've done for the state of Michigan. The craft beer industry definitely represents Michigan's strong entrepreneurial tradition. Thank you again for taking a risk and your investment in Michigan. Lastly, I want to give a quick shout out to some of my favorite places like Rockford Brewing, Cedar Springs Brewing, Perrin, Third Nature, Osgood's, New Union, New Holland, and of course Founders. Thank you. Cheers, everyone.
Here's to a long life and a merry one, a good job and an honest one, some red friends and a blue one, a COVID test and a negative one, a cold Michigan beer and another one. Here's cheers to Michigan beers.
I love it. That was fantastic. Thank you so much to everyone who shared their thoughts for the brewing community here in Michigan. We'll have more of those coming throughout our broadcast here. Thanks again to everyone who's joining us. And if you are just joining us, you are part of the Great Michigan Beer Toast, celebrating all things Michigan beer. July is Craft Beer Month here, so we're happy to celebrate with you. All right, coming up next, I want to welcome Barb Hollywood Baker, who is the siren of stout. Hey, Barb. Thanks for joining me, sweetie. So
it's so good to finally meet you socially distancing virtually.
Virtually. And I can't believe we've never met in person before. I mean, women who are involved in the brewing industry are, I mean, we are kind of few and far between in a sense. We're growing all the time, but when I was looking on the Fermenta website, I noticed that you were named the new vice president of Fermenta, and I was thrilled to see that. So can you tell us a little bit about what Fermenta is and what they do?
Well, Fermenta is a women's craft collective. So whether you're into beer, yogurt, kombucha, sauerkraut, anything that has to do with fermenting, we want to help educate you, we want to help you, and we want to help support you. So we give a lot of scholarships, and we just give a lot of support to women who are in any craft industry about fermenting. So liquor, any of that. And we really want to help all women.
I love that you focus on all things fermented. I love that you said like yogurt and sauerkraut, because people might forget that those things are also alive, just like beer.
Oh yeah, and cheese, and it's like there's so many different things, and there's a craft to all of that. You have to have a certain, you have to have that thing to make good cheese, that thing to make good yogurt, that thing to make good kombucha. Some people make okay stuff, and there's others who really make good stuff, just like beer. So there are women who see that stuff and they think, how am I going to get into it? What am I, what kind of education is there? That's what we do. We're here. We're a resource. We'll help you with education. We'll help you with money, with scholarships, with any way we can help women. That's what we do, basically.
Yeah, I love some of the scholarships you put together, and they're easily accessible to all women to apply for. So it might be a great way for if you're thinking of dipping your toes in the brewing industry to check out Fermenta and learn more about what they're doing across the state, including some big brew days. We can go out and try brewing in a professional setting with some help and support. So you're kind of guaranteed some success, which I've done and is always super, super fun. Those
are so much fun. We get so many women who either have been in the brewing industry forever or who are like, and they're really timid about it. They're like, I just drink beer and I've never even been in the back of a brewery. And we're like, come on in. I mean, I've been with Fermenta since I've been doing the newsletter I started the newsletter. So since it started, I've been at the beginning, and I love the women. I love that it's such a group that just is empowering, that wants to bring everybody in. You come to any of our events, which of course we're not doing now because of the COVID, but you will not be a fly on the wall. You won't be a woman on the outside going, am I a part of it? Oh no. As soon as you go to anything, such a welcoming group of people. And you're right, you see the same faces because there really isn't a lot of women in like craft beer or even craft liquor. So that's another reason why I'm excited that you reached out to me, and I'm excited to finally meet you, because I want to meet and know all the women, all the people. My focus is on women and people of color, trying to get them and fold them into the craft beer craft beer love with me. I like it. Well, we salute your efforts on that. We could use more of that. So Barb and I are going to do a blind IPA tasting. IPAs are one of those beers that has just exploded recently. Seems like everybody in Michigan's turned into a hophead. Now, Barb, are you a hophead? Here's what's funny. My moniker is the Siren of Stout because I love dark beers. I mean, that was my first Guinness was my first introduction. So this summer and last summer, I was pregnant 4 years ago. Once I had my baby, my taste sort of changed a little. Not because I still love stouts, but I started dipping my toe into the IPAs, and now I'm like, I think I should be called the Siren of IPA. I'm sitting over here cleansing my palate with this big tuba and this is delicious. As I'm waiting, because I didn't want to put lipstick on any of these other ones. So right. I feel like I'm the Siren of IPA. I love it. So you've drank the IPA Kool-Aid like many of us have. And everyone who's watching, if you can share your favorite Michigan IPA in the comments, we would love to hear about it as we run through these tests. So we'll have to do this kind of quick, Barb, but we've got 5 beers in front of us that we've wrapped, so we don't know what they are. We're going to pour them into a glass for easy tasting, in the sense that we really want to be able to smell these beers before we taste them. That's one of the tips about trying beers, right, Barb? Mm-hmm. So it's good that they're I know mine are in a pint glass or a shaker glass, which is not exactly how you're supposed to have beer. I should probably have it in an IPA glass, but I only have one IPA glass. Right. So I didn't want to favorite any of the beers, so I got all my shaker glasses and put them in there. So I just got whatever glass I had 5 of. And I only had 5 shaker glasses. So. Okay, and then we have our little signs in front of us. So as we taste these, we can put them in front of the ones that we think they are, all 5 of these. And these are some of the top IPAs that are made here in Michigan. They're ones that everyone should be able to find fairly easily. Barb's in Detroit and I'm in Grand Rapids, and so we had to kind of coordinate our efforts of what was available on each side of the state. And so this is what we came up with. So Barb, should we just taste away? And I think mine may be in front of them, but they're still I still don't know what they are. So okay. That's honestly, I already have an easy one because this is the only hazy one. Boomba. So the only hazy one would be the M43. Correct.
And that one, we picked it. We know it's a different style. This is a New England style IPA, and it's obviously different because it's made to be hazy, to suspend the hop oils and stuff in the beer because it's got a little oat flake in it, and so it definitely has a distinct flavor. It's turned out to be one of the most popular beers in Michigan. Now, I will say this: 3 of them I've never had before, so I wasn't even tasting them beforehand because I was excited to taste them on camera. So okay,
3 of them I've never had before.
All right, so you have to put your time, right? Or do? Okay, that's that one. This one.
Ooh, I have never. This is so good. This is super crisp. It's super refreshing. It has a. Which one is this?
What kind of flavor? What are you getting?
Like pineapple.
Okay.
I like that it's so carbonated that it bites. Like I like that. But it doesn't have any bitterness going down. It's almost really smooth going down. It's not super. Like, it doesn't have an overwhelming of anything. It isn't like super hoppy or. I like this. I don't know what this one is though. Oh, this is the Blackrocks.
Yeah, so Blackrock's 51K is very light and crisp and refreshing. It's not quite as cloying as some IPAs, I feel, and it's like a perfect IPA for a summer day. And whenever you're in the UP, man, you got to get Blackrocks.
And that's the first time I had this. That will not be the last. That is. You can drink a couple of those very easy.
You can, and I have.
And I will, as this day goes on. I have to finish all these beers.
Okay, what do you have up next?
Oh, this is malty.
Okay.
This doesn't really. This almost tastes like a light imperial.
Oh, which one is that? I'm curious.
I've never had this one before either. Yeah, this is super malty. This is which one is this one? Oh, the Centennial IPA.
Ah, okay, yes.
And all of mine have warmed up a little bit, so they're probably going to taste a little bit different than when I pulled them out of the refrigerator. Like this has like a medium mouthfeel. It almost feels like it isn't very light. It's tasty because I like dark beers.
Yes. So the malt profile might be more appealing to you even. That's a nice one from Centennial. I want to give a couple more shout outs to some people who are joining us. Rick Suarez, nice to see you, my friend. Sherry is drinking the M43 Old Nation, which is pretty cool. Jay, the Hop Goddess, will be making an appearance a little bit later, so hold on to your hat for that one. Okay, which one do we have up now, my Sourdough Stout?
Another one. Oh wait, this is Bell's.
That's
yeah. I have a story about Bell's. It's funny because I didn't try Bell's Two Hearted for a very long time.
Oh wow!
Why? Because I looked at the can and I saw a fish in camo and I thought, well, that tastes like a fish in camo. I know that seems completely ridiculous, but that's exactly what I thought. And now, like during the summer, all I drink is Bell's Lighthearted. I think it's Bell's Two Hearted Light. I was turned on by Annette May, who's part of Saugatuck. She told me about that because I was like, I'm looking for a lighter beer that has a lot of flavor. That beer that's been my summer beer all summer.
That's my beer all the time. I like to joke with Larry Bell that Two Hearted is my blood type. Because it's the one, what I found about Two Hearted is that it's the one kind of craft beer that you can now find really anywhere in Michigan. And so whenever you're up in the UP, we're a small little town in northern Michigan, we can always find Two Hearted. So it has become kind of our go-to beer. Okay, we have one more beer left, I think, right?
Yep.
And that one is probably going to be Dark Horse Crooked Tree. And this is their IPA.
And I've never had this either.
Now, I will say that personally, I prefer Dark Horse Crooked Tree directly off the tap at the tap room. For some reason there, it's like so beautifully carbonated and so lovely and fresh that it's delicious.
And I've never had it on the tap, or this is the first time I've even put my lips to it. So this is a bit malty too.
It is. It drinks kind of like a Centennial a little bit. All right, well, we have to get going. Barb, if people want to follow along, you actually are the craft beer expert for WDIV.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Sorry. You're actually the craft beer expert for WDIV in Detroit, right?
I am. I'm the beer lady on Channel 4. So I do tastings there. We talk about beer, and I only talk about Michigan beer on there. Because we have so many amazing beers. If you're talking about Swartz beer or, I mean, any sort of beer, Pilsners, we can make them amazing right here in Michigan. So.
Well, I agree. Barb, the Siren of Stout, thank you so much for joining us today during our big toast to Michigan beer.
Thank you for inviting me. Cheers to you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, we have a couple more toasts coming up now, so sit back and enjoy.
Let's drink Ishpeming beer, not in the pub, but outside here. It's brewed with UP water. Drink only what you oughta. So lower your masks and toast with friends. Here's to
Upper
Michigan beer.
I'm George Ranville from Beer to Mac Brew Works up here at the tip of the mitt, and we are so happy to be a part of the Michigan Brewing Fraternity and the Michigan Brewers Guild, and we just love Michigan beer.
I'm Dominic Miller with Mackinac State Historic Parks. We're celebrating 25 years this year with a special beer, Florida Mac, made by Beer to Mac.
Thanks to the Brewers Guild for giving us all the resources that we need, and thanks to the Historic Parks Association and for the opportunity to make this great beer.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Cheers to Michigan beers from Papa Brewing Company.
I love those toasts. I got to give Jay Clancy from Cognition Brewing an extra shout out for putting together his own UP fight song. Hilarious and well done. All right, have you been curious about hops and the role they play in beer? They're one of the 4 ingredients that go into a classic bottle of beer, and they're sometimes one of the most important ones, next to water, in my opinion. But we're going to learn more about hops and how they grow and take a tour of a hop farm right now with my good friend, Brian Tennis from Michigan Hop Alliance. Hey, Brian.
Hey.
I know he's there. Okay, there he is. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Nice to see you. Thank you for
Can you
taking
hear me
it. I can hear you. Yeah, you sound great.
Yep.
So thanks for taking us out to the farm and showing us how hops grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for putting this together.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You guys know how much I like beer and all my brewer friends, so this is great. So Brian, one of my first questions, and it's something that I got wrong for years, is what is the difference between hop vines and hop bines with a B? They're technically vines with a B, right?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a hop vine because it's a hop vine or a wine vine because hops have trichomes on them, so they're really smooth when you go down the length of them, but when you go up them, it almost feels like an arrowhead. And then vines, they just wrap around. So they're hops are more of a climbing vine.
And hence the bine terminology. Now we can see the hops growing behind you, and as you mentioned, they're climbing. So can you give us some shots of how the hops are growing up your trellises? And your little
Sure.
okay, let's see.
Just some pictures.
Okay, while he turns around, we'll see how these hop vines grow. Hopefully, sometimes technology can be a pain. I'm sure everyone out there has had a fun Zoom call that suddenly froze. Okay, well, we might be able to see it. You're frozen. I'm trying to hear you.
Did that work at all?
No, I didn't. You didn't. It was just on your face. I got to see you. That's okay. Why don't we?
That's not a good picture.
That's okay. It's beautiful. We'll just talk about hops and how they grow then. It takes a while for hops to get to the point where they can be harvested, right, Brian?
It depends. Usually, if we start plants in a greenhouse, we can get pretty decent first year. but we have to start them in like really going in the greenhouse, then transplant them in yard spring, and get decent yield off them the first year. But typically, we're looking at second year.
Yeah, it can definitely take a while. I was going to ask you, we might have to cut this a little short because the connection's not so great. How is the harvest going this year for Michigan hops?
Here in Leelanau Peninsula, this will probably be the best season we've ever had in our 12th year. The weather has been absolutely perfect.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear. I love that. Now, Brian, you supply hops for hundreds of breweries across the United States in general, but dozens and dozens of them right here in Michigan. What are some of the breweries that people can go to maybe try beers that have Michigan Hop Alliance hops in them?
There's literally hundreds. There's not too many we don't deal with, but Arbor, Ascension, I know I'm going to a couple of literally hundreds around the state. Stormcloud, big supporter of our Speediation, Holmes, you name it. Just about every state. There's not too many breweries you find that don't use Michigan hops here in the state, which is a key success as well as other growers in the state.
That is for sure. I love all the other industries that have grown up around the brewing industry, supplying malt, supplying hops, labels, packages, cans, all that kind of stuff. It truly is a great economic success story here in Michigan. Brian Tennis from Michigan Hop Alliance, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. All right, we've got some more shout outs coming at you from the great city of Grand Rapids.
Here's a toast to our Michigan beer industry. Here in Grand Rapids, we are grateful and proud to be called Beer City USA, with so many great brewers and breweries, including some of my very favorites, Brewery Vivant and The Mitten and Founders, City Built. Actually, the list goes on and on. So cheers to all of you, and cheers to Michigan beer.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, it kind of did a thing, right?
Nice. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
That was from a Zoom call that the Beer City Brewers Guild did earlier this year. And like I said earlier, Zoom calls can be sometimes a little bit of a hot mess, but always a great time to see friends. So thank you for joining us on our great Michigan beer toast. I hope you're getting some great information about the brewing industry here in Michigan and learning, some of the things that go on behind the scenes maybe. Our next segment is going to be a fun, fast little beer trivia questions with two hilarious guys that I love spending time with. We've got Joe Short and Scott Newman-Vale from Short's Brewing Company with us to stump the brewer.
Wait, hold on here. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, Joe, you're looking great.
Trying to distract Scott over here. He's spilling beer all over the place.
I just had a minor accident. As I was
he was really excited.
Are you guys going to do a little snack talk before we get started with our trivia here?
I've got it down. I don't need any snack talk. I'm confident.
This is all news to me.
I like it. Well, how's it been going up at Short's Brewing Company during this time? You guys have reopened your patio and stuff, right?
Yeah, we've reopened the whole facility now, obviously with reduced capacity. But we think it's going well. I mean, we're doing our best and trying to make sure that everyone feels safe. And so far, so good. It's an interesting summer, but we have thankfully the outdoor area in Elk Rapids too, and that's definitely been extra popular this year. So.
Well, you do have a fabulous patio that people can enjoy, and so I encourage everyone to go up there. Now, guys, you're from Short's Brewing Company, and I know that you probably have your favorite Short's beers that you drink all the time, but are there other breweries in Michigan that I might find in your glass sometimes?
Well, we don't go out. Well, I don't go out. But normally when I head over to other people's houses, there's fortunately a good amount of Michigan beverages stocked in there. So, yeah.
I mean, I do get out a little bit more, not as much since I'm retired from the guild, but I mean, I loved Witch's Hat, Drafting Table. That's kind of where I used to live down in Detroit, so it's got a special place for me down there. So
I like it. Scott, you are the president of the Brewers Guild, so thank you for your service to the Guild. You did a good job during your tenure.
Yep.
Okay, let's get started with our beer trivia. I will ask you guys questions. Let me get my scorecards for you. Okay.
I don't like how excited you are. So.
I had to say this is really not my forte, but I did get a little excited about it. Okay, we're going to start off easy, guys, okay? Because I don't want to stump you too soon. So, Scott, we're going to start with you. What does ABV stand for? Does it stand for always by volume, anything by volume, or alcohol by volume?
B.
B?
C. Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you can't get this one wrong, dude.
I know, now we've got to translate. Joe has to translate for me.
Okay, alcohol by volume, you are correct. You get 1 point. Joe, what does IBU stand for? Does it stand for intentional bittering units, international bittering units, or increased bittering units?
B.
Hey, all right. Guess what, guys? It's 1-1. Okay, Scotty, how many ounces are in a standard size growler?
64.
Ooh, well done. Okay, good job. Joe, what famous American said beer is proof that God loves us? Was it Abe Lincoln, Ben Franklin, or Martha Stewart?
Ben Franklin. And it was proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy.
True. Okay, I missed that last part. I'm sorry. Okay, Scott, this is a brewing question, so I'm going to challenge you just a little bit on this one. What ingredient sets a milkshake IPA apart from a regular IPA? Does it only use Amarillo hops? Do you have to shake the keg vigorously before serving? Or do you add lactose?
Lactose.
Yes. Right. You guys are good. I'm not stumping you at all.
Multiple choice.
I know. I'm glad I had the multiple choice on that one.
All right, Joe. How much is a Michigan Brewers Guild enthusiast membership? Is it free? Is it $1 million? Or is it $55?
Whew, that's a tough one. I'm going to go with $55.
Woo-hoo! You guys are betting 1,000. All right. All right, let's get a little personal with you two so we can get to know you a little bit behind the scenes. Joe, and I want to know how well you guys know each other. You guys have been partners for like 17 years.
Right.
Joe, you founded Shorts, and Scott, you're now the CEO of Shorts. So you guys really are in tune with each other on a daily basis, you would say, right?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time together, yeah.
Okay, here it is. What food does Scott hate the most?
Blue cheese.
Good job. Blue cheese. What don't you like about blue cheese, Scott?
I'm scared of blue cheese. I've actually only touched it to my lips a few times, and I have projectile vomited all the time. I didn't know what a dirty martini was until it didn't work out well. So.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay, Scott, what is Joe's favorite sport?
What's Joe's favorite sport?
Correct. That he participates in.
Oh, well, actually, I'd say Joe doesn't like sport, but then that's not true because there would be sports I wouldn't watch, such as water skiing.
There you go. You nailed it. You guys do know this really well. All right. Here's one that might be slightly harder. Joe, what does the French word houblon mean?
I didn't make this one up.
I have no idea.
I can give you multiple choice. Would you like that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Does it mean a full glass of beer? Does it mean hops? Or does it mean an attractive woman? Houblon.
Let's say a full glass of beer.
Ooh, the first wrong answer. It means hops in French. Okay, Scott. Who is the patron saint of brewing? I can provide a multiple choice if you'd like.
I have an answer. I'll take the multiple choice. Yes.
Okay. Is it Saint Ignatius, Saint Onesimus, or St. Arnold?
I would say, yeah. I was going to say C. Now I feel like you're screwing with me. I'll say B.
You'll say which one?
I just joined your team.
Okay. I would say C.
C, St. Arnold. You're correct. That is the patron saint of brewing. Good job, Scott.
I didn't know that. There was just a brewery called that. So I was like, I don't know why they called it that. So.
Exactly. That's a good call. It's down in Texas, isn't it, that brewery?
Yep.
I like it. Okay. Joe, here's a question kind of going from Scott's side of things. This is an accounting question. What does the abbreviation AR stand for in accounting?
Accounts receivable.
Ooh, good job. All right. Okay, Scott, before we used hops in our beers, we flavored them with botanicals. What were these botanical brewed beers called? The style.
Style.
Ooh, am I stumping both of you?
Yeah. You might need a multiple choice on this one, Alex.
I don't have a multiple choice. Let me think about this. Mount Pleasant Brewing used to always make these style of beers. Yes. Say it again.
Fruit.
Gruit. Good job. Okay. Last question.
Thanks, Scott. Graham.
Okay, Joe. What is the most famous sale ever made by Scott at Shorts, and what did he do to secure it?
I didn't make this one.
Do you know it?
I do.
Did it have anything to do with Meyer?
No.
Costco.
We can't mention the account either, because that would be.
Nope, not mentioning the account. Just what did he do to secure the account?
I don't know, but I probably do know, but I don't know.
Okay, Scott, what did you do?
I conquered my biggest fear ever, which is karaoke.
I didn't know.
Coming back to you, Joe?
I have a whole new challenge for 2021.
And it was Blister in the Sun. That's what he performed, and he nailed the account. So well done, Scott.
I understand why nobody wants to have karaoke at the pub.
Yeah.
True. All right, Scott, last question. What is in Joe's cup right now?
Oh, wait.
Where is it? Get it.
What we've all been waiting for.
If you're just tuning in, we are with Joe Short and Scott Newman Bale from Shorts Brewing Company doing a little Stump the Brewer with some fun trivia. He's going to open it.
Just one. Just one.
Like I was already covered in beer anyway, so now I'm just going to drink this blind.
You have to drink it. Drink it, man.
What is it?
It's like spruce pilsner, but nicey spicy. It's nicey spicy.
You guys are good.
It's refreshing beer in the history of the world.
I saw a bunch of powder.
It is a great beer. I agree. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. Hey, if people want to get information about Shorts and maybe plan their next trip up to see you or find out where your brews are available, where should they go?
Just call Scott.
Yeah.
517-285 3621.
Maybe. But it's shortsbrewing.com.
Thank you both for joining us. I appreciate it.
Here's the Michigan beer.
All right, we've got some shout outs from mayors all over the state of Michigan coming up next.
In the city of Marquette, we've got Blackrock's Brewery, Ordock, Veerling, Drifa, and we do have Barrel and Beam in neighboring Marquette Township. Wanted to say nice job to our local breweries for keeping the beer flowing during this very difficult time and modifying your facilities to make sure folks can get in there and enjoy a beer safely, taking social distancing into account. Cheers to everyone. Drink Marquette beer, and we're all in this together.
First of all, I want to shout out to all the great craft breweries here in Kalamazoo, all coming from the great work that Larry Bell started years and years ago. Brings so much to Kalamazoo and so much to the state of Michigan. I just want to say thank you, and here's a toast to Michigan beers from Kalamazoo.
We have a host of wonderful breweries up north. We have Rare Bird, The Workshop, The Filling Station, Right Brain, Mackinac Brewery, and so many more, all contributing to this great business. They're taking a locally grown crop, producing a product, and providing it to our citizens and the tourists alike. We really are thankful for all the people that are making this industry great here up north and throughout the state. And with that, we encourage people to enjoy Traverse City, come north, be safe, wear your mask, socially distance, and enjoy the natural resources. We even have paddles for pints, a way to get out on the river and in the lakes and enjoy a beer while you're at it. Keep making beer, keep making it great, and come enjoy Traverse City and be safe.
Thank you to all the mayors who contributed their cheers to Michigan beer. We love the support that the brewing industry gets all over Michigan. All right, referencing our last segment with Joe and Scott, I neglected to announce a winner, and I have to say, after tallying the votes, Scott comes out one ahead. So congratulations, Mr. Scott. You took Joe down. You will receive a special prize from me in the future. All right, next we're going to do some beer pairings. Not just with food, which is what you might typically think, and that's a great way to try new beers, but we're also going to pick some awesome Michigan activities that might pair perfectly with a craft beer. We've got Tim Woolley with us from Alliance Beverage. He's their craft beer expert, and he's put together quite a list for us to try. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Amy, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for putting together all these incredible beers to try with activities and food. You really put your craft beer hat on for sure with this list.
Yeah, happy to do it. We're very lucky to be partners with lots of great breweries here in West Michigan and throughout the state, and happy to showcase a few of them here with the Guild today.
Absolutely. Now, I should mention, Tim, you represent over 70 different craft breweries across the state of Michigan, right?
Yeah, 70 total craft suppliers, just over 40 in the state of Michigan, and we're very proud to do so.
That's awesome. Well, I know you wanted to include every single one of the breweries that you represent, and we don't quite have time for 40, but please know, everyone out there, that Tim loves you all, and he supports you in every way he can. All right, let's get to our pairings here, Tim, because we have quite a few to get through. Are we going to start at the top of the list with pizza?
Absolutely. Start with some pizza with a great beer to pair with pizza. I say go to the one of my favorite breweries in the state of Michigan. With the best, in my opinion, the best pizza there is. And I'm going to open this one to start and say cheers to everybody. This is Mitten Country Strong. And if you haven't been to Mitten Brewing Company here in Grand Rapids, their IPA and their pizza are second to none. So cheers to Mitten.
I'm going to totally agree with you. This is one of my go-to beers. It's one of my go-to breweries because I'm in Grand Rapids. Their pizza is top-notch, and Country Strong is super poundable with the pizza. Those hops cut the fat and the cheese and just makes a really awesome pairing. Nice start, Tim. You're nailing it so far. Okay, up next.
I think we have burgers next, and I wanted to do a shout out to Atwater and throw some Dirty Blonde in there. It's a great American wheat ale, 4.5%, easy drinking American wheat ale, and goes great with any burger you can put on your plate. I know you and John have done lots of great burger promos, and if you've ever had a Dirty Blonde with it, I'm sure you've been pleased.
Yes, and this is not named after me, but it's a great beer to enjoy. If you want to follow along in our burger search, go to mlive.com. We're going to have our results next week, so you can check that out, where the top burgers are across Michigan. Okay,
next up, we have some chicken wings. If you want to cut through that spiciness with chicken wings, let's crack at Grand Armory Wheezing the Juice. Great juicy hazy IPA, 6.5% from Grand Haven, Michigan. Great looking tie-dye can here, and a growing brewery here in the state doing a great job.
They're kind of exploding. I feel like their beers I'm seeing them now on shelves everywhere, and it's nice to see because they're not a huge brewery. They're pretty small.
You know, they're small, but they're growing very, very quickly, and you'd be surprised in the volume they can put out of that facility out in Grand Haven.
Awesome. Okay, next up.
Okay, we're looking at hoagies, subs, and dilly sandwiches. One of my favorite beers of all time, single-hopped pale ale, Mosaic Promise from Founders. I cracked this about half an hour ago. I've been sipping on it ever since, watching everyone in here, so I'm going to keep drinking this one.
Took me a minute there. I had to find it. All these. I always like the label on Mosaic Promise. It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, coming up next is salad. Okay,
salad.
You don't make friends with salad, Tim.
You know, salad's an interesting one to pair things with. There's lots of different ways you can go. There's a great brewery out of Bridgman, Michigan called Haymarket. They also have a brewery in Chicago, but the Michigan arm of their brewery is doing really well. The blood orange blonde they make pairs really well with the salad, light, crushable, and just a hint of blood orange in there. Really nice drinking blonde ale.
Okay, so pasty. This is a classic UP dish. So you picked a classic brewery that is now available downstate and that you can now find much more frequently all over the state.
For sure. Ordock Brewing out of Marquette. If you haven't had any of their beers, that came into West Michigan about 30 days ago. I'm going to pour one, and here's what the can looks like. You pour it in your local retailer. It's been in Southeast Michigan for a while. Ordock, Wes and Andre up there are making great beers, and their porter is a really nice classic porter. Pairs very well with UP pasties.
I like it. We just did Ordock as our pick for beer of the week last week, and you can find that at mlive.com if you want to get more information about that brewery. All right, Coney Dogs.
Coney Dogs. This was a tough one for me because there's so many things to go with Coney Dogs. I had to go to the All Lager Brewery out of Ann Arbor, Wolverine Brewing Company. Their premium lager for an all lager brewery is second to none. They just do a great job making really crushable lagers.
Yeah, and I like that they're all lagers. It's kind of an interesting take for a brewery, so that's a good one. All right, so we've got a couple of activities, and we'll have to kind of keep it short, but let's ride through these. These are all things that we might be doing right now in the summer. So what would you recommend for summer drinking in Michigan while you're outside enjoying it?
Well, I have boat rides on here, and of course, the most famous boat in Michigan is the SS Badger Blue, and of course, Ludington Bay Brewing Company made a beer in honor of that wonderful boat, and it's a great crushable cream ale, 5.5% with a little bit of Michigan blueberries in it.
Tim, you have to say it like this: SS Badger.
Fair enough.
All right, if I go to the beach, what should I drink?
Okay, well, of course, if you're going to the beach, you have to try Pigeon Hill's new Beach Please, crushable summer blonde ale with a little bit of hop character to it, about 5% ABV, and a really nice summer beer.
Hanging out in my backyard. If I want to have maybe a couple brews, we got the new one from Bell's.
Absolutely. As Barb put it, we call it 200 light or lighthearted. If I'm in the backyard throwing bags or hanging out with my friends or chipping golf balls with my son, I'm drinking a lighthearted all day long.
I like that one a lot. All right, we've got for hiking. It's actually named after hiking, kind of. It's the Arbor Trail Light.
Yeah, if you haven't tried this beer yet, it's really unique. It's just over 4%. It's actually it's like salt infused, so it actually has a little bit of electrolyte quality to it. So it actually can be replenishing to your hiking and sweating and getting out in the trails together. It's a raspberry hibiscus ale. It's low cal. It's really, really different and fun and unique, and it's available all over the state.
All right, that sounds great. All right, we're going to do one more. So you pick which one else you'd like to focus on.
Okay, we'll do one more. I'm going to go with my favorite lawnmower beer over the past year or so, Saugatuck Blueberry Lemonade Shandy. This is just a fun beer. You had the old Ferrera Dan candy on there with lemon heads, and it's just a fun beer to after you're done lawn mowing. You want a little sugar, you want a little sweetness, and you want a crushable shandy. It's a nice little blonde ale with a little bit of adjunct to it. It's really nice.
Yeah, that is an interesting one from Saugatuck, and not much says summer more than anything Saugatuck, so that's a great pick. I love it. Now, people can find Alliance Beverage beers all over West Michigan, right, Tim?
Yeah, Western, Northern Michigan, throughout the basically bridge to border in the western half of the state. Many of our brands are available, and we're very proud to represent lots of great breweries, even the ones I didn't mention today. We are just blessed to be partners with these guys.
Absolutely. And we're going to give an extra shout out to Rishi's International Beverage for putting all these beers together. He does such a great job. He's a wonderful resource for beer in Grand Rapids. Tim Willey from Alliance Beverage, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Amy.
All right, we've got more shout outs coming and the great big Michigan beer toast coming up next.
It's been a strange and difficult last few months, especially for you. So for everything you do, thank you. This one's for you.
We are here to do a cheers for beer. Thank you so much for Batch Brewing for this amazing alt beer. Salud.
Hello and happy Michigan Beer Month. My name's Emily. I'm the communications director for Fermenta, a Michigan women's craft collective, a nonprofit raising awareness and money for women's education. I'm not drinking beer today because I'm on the road, but I am drinking Michigan hop water from Beard's Brewery. Cheers to Michigan and cheers to drinking local.
Hi, I'm Angie Williams, president of Fermenta.
And I'm Mary Ignatowski, the treasurer.
We're here to say cheers to Michigan beer. Cheers.
Thank you to everyone who gave us toasts and shout outs during this program. We love the support that you're giving to the brewing community during this time and all time, and to the Brewers Guild as well. It's been really fun to see faces from all across the state. Since we couldn't be together in reality, we can be together virtually, and it's been super fun. So thank you to everyone who contributed to that. All right, now the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time for our great Michigan beer toast. And we're going to be joined again by Scott Graham from the Michigan Brewers Guild. He's the executive director. And then we've got Isaac Hartman, who is the current president of the board. And there he is, David Ringler from Cedar Springs Brewing Company, who's the vice president of the board of the Brewers Guild. Hi, guys, welcome.
Cheers, Amy.
Cheers. All right, I'm going to let you guys take it away with our big Michigan beer toast. Everybody out there, please make sure you have your Michigan beer ready to go. Again, we'd love to hear what you're drinking and what brewery it's from. So please be sure to share it in the comments as we go through this. And I think I'm going to kick it off. Maybe Isaac is not going to kick it off. Scott,
I'm going to kick it off. You want me to kick it off? Hey, everybody. Isaac Hartman here with New Holland Brewing. Thanks, Amy, and everybody putting this together. I just wanted to welcome you to the Zoom Toast. And since we can't be together for the Michigan Brewers Guild Summer Beer Festival, I really want to just thank the staff over the years for a long period of time helping us organize the festival, and everybody a part of that. It takes a whole army to put that together. And we couldn't be able doing what we do without you. So here's to you. And I want to especially thank all the retailers, all the service people out there, everybody working in the pubs and retail and bars and restaurants, getting Michigan beer out in the trade. We love you. We appreciate you. And we love what you're doing. So everybody out there, please grab a Michigan beer. And thanks for all the support. Cheers.
I love it. Thank you, Isaac. Rings, did you have anything to add to our toast?
I will just echo where we're sitting out here at Jeep Night here at Cedar Springs Brewing Company, so we got a little music in the background. I apologize if it's loud, but I'll echo a little bit with what Isaac said. In all honesty, we're all in this together, whether it's retailers, consumers, and enthusiasts, the guild staff. You, Amy, what you and John do is absolutely tremendous and appreciated by all of us in the industry. And really a shout out to everyone who's imbibing and appreciating Michigan beer. We're all in this together, and we do appreciate the support.
Thanks, Rings. And Scott Graham, you want to bring us home?
Yeah, I would just like to thank all the great breweries in Michigan for all their support of the Michigan Brewers Guild over the years, and cheers to everybody who drinks Michigan beer.
All right, let's all do it together. Let's do a cheers to Michigan beer. 1, 2, 3. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Awesome. Well, this was super fun. I can't thank all of our guests enough for joining us, and for all of you who stuck with us and participated in the comments and the beers and the breweries that you loved, shared them with us. That was really great to see from all over the state. So thank you so very much. I also have to say a big thank you to Lori Chapman for producing this amazing piece. It turned out great, Lori. Good job. All right. So again, if you want to get more information about the Michigan Brewers Guild, you want to head to mibeer.com. And of course, if you want to follow along on beer news from all over the state, you want to go to mlive.com. All right, coming up next to sing us out, we got Mr. Fred Biltman doing the Michigan Beer Fight Song, a different version. So take it away, Fred.
Let's drink Michigan beer from coast to coast, from far and near. It's local and delicious, any styles at your wishes. Raise your glass and toast your friends. Let's drink Michigan beer! Michigan beer! Cheers.